Have you ever thought to yourself, why is it so hard to make it in music as a full-time artist when it seems like all these other artists aren't struggling while you're here trying to make it happen? And for a lot of us, I feel like we're playing this music game on hard mode when the shortcut is right in front of us. There are easier ways to get noticed without burning out, and you don't need to struggle to make it. And I've realized, the grind is not a badge of honor. We can work smarter and not harder. And in this video, I want to share with you the lies that artists have been told, or sometimes we tell ourselves, that are keeping us broke and on this struggle bus. And the first thing you need to know is that the truth is never afraid of a lie. But a lie is always afraid of the truth. And so the first lie I want to share and really break this belief about is that time is money. You can earn money back, but you can't buy your time back. Every hour spent is an investment you can never get back. So we want to spend it wisely on growth and creativity in growing our music career. Sometimes we're trying to save pennies while we're wasting hours, or sometimes wasting years. One of the biggest examples for me personally that really hit home was trying to grow this music career by touring and grinding my face off in clubs, bars, churches, playing not for many people, thinking that's the way I had to grow. I'm gonna work harder. I'm gonna book my own shows. I'm gonna outwork everybody. I used to literally believe that, but then I realized I could get on to bigger tours, or I could be on a tour that's marketed, or get on a show where there's already a built-in audience. We would do our own shows by ourselves, or sometimes I'd get on a bigger show or a festival and I'm instantly in front of thousands of people. And it's like I'm accomplishing my goal in such a shorter period of time. And this is why we want to get to our dreams and goals faster. This is why we want to get rich or get famous or get our music noticed quick, is because we want to enjoy the dream longer. If I can get to my destination in half the time, why wouldn't I do that? But yet we hear these get rich quick schemes or get successful schemes, but the word scheme just really comes from the word blueprint, which is having a plan. But sometimes we get into this music game without a plan and we're playing on hard mode when really we need to flip to easy mode. So what I started to do is I started to focus and invest my time in things that pay me 24/7. You see, even though I don't get paid for those shows anymore, I got paid once for those shows and that was it. Where all the songs that I recorded years ago, I'm still getting paid for right now. Those songs right now, they're touring around the world online, on Spotify, on Apple Music. The music videos that I made years ago, they're performing right now while I'm sitting in this chair. They're performing on YouTube and people are watching them, right? And so this is the example of doing work once, but getting paid for it over and over and over again for a lifetime. So you want to start trading your time, not just for money, but investing your time in things that pay you over and over again. And at the beginning, yes, you're going to have to trade your time for dollars. You do a service-based business where you do something for someone and you get paid for it and that's it. You don't get paid again. But then it's what you do with that money to invest it in assets music, obviously I'm saying CDs or merch or something like that, where it's paying me over and over again. I don't have to recreate this again, right? Digitally, I definitely don't have to, but also it doesn't cost much to press CDs again, and I'll have this asset for lifetime, right? And so we want to invest in things that are going to pay us over and over and over again. Warren Buffett says, if you don't learn to make money in your sleep, then you will never be financially free. But you want to learn to trade your time into assets that pay you for a lifetime. What I find is the biggest hurdle that artists have to overcome with this, and the mindset change and the lie, is the delayed gratification. And it's that it takes longer to get paid for some of those things sometimes. You're not getting paid right away. And so it feels like sometimes you're investing in this thing that's not paying you, but it just really just takes time. But then once you've got that momentum and you've got all these different assets and things that are paying you, well, then that's where you establish financial freedom. Lie number two is that you need to sign to a record label. It blows my mind that artists, even in today's age, think they need to sign to a record label, but you need to become the record label. That's the truth. You need to own your own destiny. You see, all a record label is a giant loan, right? From a label that you always have to pay back for the rest of your life, right? But if you take a loan from a bank, you see, a loan from a bank has an end date where a label owns your music for life. You know, you borrow from a bank and once it's paid, the music is still yours. You know, interest is temporary, but a label's cut is forever. You know, why split your royalties forever when you can just pay off a loan? You know, banks want interest where labels want control. And the number one law of success is to maintain control. You know, with a loan, you're still the boss of your music with no strings attached, right? But we think that we need this label, we need the machine, we need their team, when all of that stuff we can hire out. Right? You know, sometimes when I say this, you know, you're paying back the loan forever, the word in record label terms or music industry jargon is perpetuity. You know, you're paying them those royalties forever. You're paying back that loan forever. Even once you've paid back your advance, you're still paying them and you're never in control, right? And so you want to invest in your career. It's better that you go to a bank and you borrow and then pay it off. You know, this last year, for the first time, I got one of those credit cards that has no interest for 12 months, right? So it was one of those APR, have no interest payments for 12 months. And so I put the whole album on the credit card. And it's actually funny, today is when I had to pay back the card, because all of a sudden you do have to start paying interest, and you do have to pay a tiny little fee every month. You got to pay something back towards it, but it's like nothing compared to you borrowing all this money. So you get a credit card, let's say for $10,000 or $20,000 with the limit, depending on how good your credit score is, and you put the whole album on that thing, and now you've got 12 months to pay it back. Okay? And let's just say you only pay back and you still owe $2,000, right? And you got to understand, you are playing with fire here, so you got to plan. But let's just say, like today, I didn't have the money and I got to pay this credit card, or else I'm going to start paying like 29% or whatever the crazy interest rate is. We'll just take out a credit line and borrow from the credit line. Borrow from a credit line on your house, or take out a personal line of credit, which is like 5 or 6% interest, and then pay off the credit card so you're not getting dinged that 21 or 29%, whatever the crazy rate is. But then you pay that 5, 6%, but then now you've got some money to work with, and you had 12 months, right? Like, let's just say, like, you pay for the record, you've got 12 months to market it, promote it, start making the money with it. You still got your job, or you still got however you're making money, but now you own this asset. This is yours, not the labels, right? And you are in control. A lot of artists, including me, think we needed the label because of the marketing machine and how am I going to get my music out there, when really all the tools you could possibly need are online, like DistroKid to distribute your music, Facebook, Instagram ads, Spotify ads, like to get your music out there. It's just online marketing, influencers, TikTok. You know, if you really want to get on radio, you can hire your own radio team, right? You can get on your own tours. Does it take a little bit longer to building the team and establishing really good A players? Yes, but that's what independents are all for. And sometimes even when you work with a label, they will hire an independent publicist. They will hire an independent radio promoter. And honestly, like, I don't even do radio or publicists very, very rarely for marketing my music. Really, it's all online, right? Running YouTube ads. You can hire a music video director and you can all charge it on that card and not have to pay it for 12 months and do the whole campaign. But just be really wise planning it out and put together a marketing plan. Like, let's just say you had a $10,000 credit card. Maybe $5,000 is for the record or for the EP. Maybe it's only a 5-song EP, and that other $5,000 is to market and promote the music. Which leads me to lie number 3, which artists believe that investing in marketing is a waste of money. Why pay for ads when good music sells itself? They believe talent alone should be good enough to attract listeners. If it's meant to be heard, it'll find its way. And we assume that organic reach will magically do the job, which I've found organic works after you've put a bit of marketing behind it. I also hear the term that I'll let the music speak for itself. I don't need to market. Promotion is unnecessary. If the track is good, it'll just find its way out there, because marketing is just hype and it's not worth the investment, when really we underestimate the power of visibility in a crowded industry. To get noticed in a noisy world, you've got to break through by putting some money into marketing, right? It is not a waste of money. It is an investment. And if I can just turn that crank and change that false belief in your mind that it is never a waste of money. This is completely different, but like when I give to my church or I give to God, right? When I give my tithe, I've never thought that is a waste of money, giving it to God or the church. It's like I don't even ever think about it. And it's actually the exact same way I believe about marketing my music. Like I don't think it's a waste. Like, sure, there's times where I spent it wrongly and I would have spent it better. Like radio, I got to be honest, that was a bit of a waste. But when it came to online advertising and stuff, like I always think of it like I'm learning, I'm growing. And I know that's why certain songs have taken off, because I put money behind it so that the song could take off. Grant Cardone says, if they don't know you, they can't flow you. Marketing puts music in front of new ears, creating new opportunities. Like, people can't buy from you unless they know you. They can't stream from you unless they know you. Somebody bought my merch off of my Shopify store from the other day, and I saw that it actually came from Spotify for Artists, because you can link your Shopify store to your music store. Now, they couldn't have bought my merch unless I first had it and I connected it to my Spotify, but unless I did the marketing to promote my music. And I'm pretty sure this buyer was in Germany as well, right? Because this talent, these great songs that you have, without attention, it's wasted potential. You can have the best music, but if no one hears it, it doesn't matter. Marketing amplifies your voice in this noisy world. And the good news is 99% of artists do not market or promote their songs. And if they do market it, they market it for like a day or two. They don't go hard. They don't go deep. They don't go long enough to build momentum. Because once you have momentum, that creates success, right? Consistent marketing turns small wins into major breakthroughs. That's how the songs go viral. That's how people find it. Like, all of a sudden, when you've marketed a song long enough, then people will start making shorts with your videos. They'll start making TikToks. They'll start making reels. But if they haven't heard the song, then how are they gonna find it and blow it up for you, right? Like, visibility beats obscurity. Again, according to my man Cardone, he says you're either visible or you're invisible. And marketing ensures your music doesn't get lost in the shadows of the industry, right? Like, if you really believe in it, why wouldn't you market it? Why wouldn't you put your money where your mouth is, right? Like, when you do sign with the label, or if you were to sign with the label, I'm definitely not encouraging you to do that, but one of the ways if a label believes in an artist is how big the check is, because that shows their belief on them recouping your money or thinking that, hey, this artist is going to be successful. So you acting as the label, how much do you believe in yourself? How big is the check you're going to write for yourself and for your music, right? Marketing is an investment, not an expense. The biggest mistake you can make is not marketing your brand. It's the fuel that drives your career forward. It's not just a cost to be avoided. It is an investment to be made into your future self. And because once those songs keep going, they keep streaming and streaming forever. My biggest songs that bring me the most royalties are songs that are like 10 plus years old. And that's because we marketed and promoted the junk out of them for years. I performed them for years. I posted about them for years. Sometimes the same video, the same post, I would repost it, especially if it did well, because there's always new people ready to find you. You know, there's so many famous artists that have millions of monthly listeners, and I'll share it with a friend, and they're like, "Oh, I never heard of this guy," you know? And we think like, you know what I mean? That like we're known, or if we switch or do something different with our brand, oh, I'm known for this. You're not known. You know, even if you got a million monthly listeners, we're not known. There is such a bigger world out there. And I want you to stretch thinking like, look, not just 100,000 streams, not just a million streams. Why not a billion? You know, billion is the new million, right? And so I want you to stretch into greatness because you can't shrink. It's time to stop shrinking down and start to stretch and stretch your thinking, stretch your budget, stretch your marketing efforts if you want to see the results that you want.